Coming up, in Birmingham, Inspector Hershey Bowl discovers this bull terrier at death's door.
This dog will be dead in a small matter of time.
This staffy goes to great lengths to lose weight.
We've thrown away all the sweets. She's going back to her diet and to her exercise regime.
And a story of great courage from this little doggy.
One of the worst cases I've ever seen.
Sometimes RSPCA inspectors have to deal with some truly shocking cases, and they often don't know what they're going to deal with until they arrive on a job. So West Midlands-based Inspector Hershey Bowl is always prepared for the unexpected.
It's very serious. If you don't do something, then you're breaking the law.
A veteran of 14 years, and with her background as a veterinary nurse, means she always spots telltale signs of abuse. Today, Hershey is in Birmingham, following up on a case of suspected neglect. But so far, no one has been able to get to the bottom of the call.
It's basically a dog in one of the flats, and it's supposed to have really bad fur loss over its body. The flat that the dog's meant to be at. They're not replying, so I'm just trying a different one. We can sometimes have a bit of a problem accessing it. Hi, it's the RSPCA. Can you let me into the building, please?
Hershey's persistence has paid off. RSPCA inspectors are no strangers to closed doors.
The door's open.
But even an open door doesn't give them the right to go in.
Hello? I'm not happy when the door's open. Hello? Hello?
No.
Oh, God, you scared me then with your door open, darling. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
From the RSPCA, I've had a call about a dog, saying it's got a bit of a problem with its fur.
Yeah, I've taken it to the vets now.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it all right if I could have a quick look at her, sweetie? Okay. Is she friendly?
Yeah, she's friendly. Clara.
We're not allowed in. But as Hershey discovers, this case is far more sinister than she could have ever imagined.
Is this why you were a bit reluctant to open the door?
The conditions inside are atrocious. But that's not all she finds. There's a starving English bull terrier living in her own excrement. And this dog is so hungry that she tries to eat it.
Stop it. We can't have her eating her own mess.
This case of neglect is so serious, she needs to document the evidence.
Okay, so I'm just taking some video of where the dog is living.
Bull terriers are a strong and powerful breed, but this poor dog, sat on a urine-soaked blanket, looks almost lifeless.
Clara is very disinterested in me.
Clara's clearly suffering, and her living conditions are absolutely filthy, with no food or fresh drinking water.
Bucket, which is full of some very black substance. I'm just going to caution you. I have to do that, okay?
The owner won't sign Clara over to the RSPCA, but has agreed to let Hershey take her to the vet. But even without an expert's opinion, the dog has far more serious problems than fur loss.
Clara's a white English bull. Well, she's meant to be white. Horrendous skin. She's just got a lot of problems with this poor dog.
In well over 10 years as an inspector, Hershey has seen many shocking things, but today is a new low.
Oh God, that nail's actually completely dug into her pad there, look. That's actually gone in. Oh God, both of her nails, look at that. Look at that. I haven't seen nails that bad in 13 years, kind of to that extent. She'd be in quite a lot of discomfort walking.
This dog is clearly starving.
She's just looking for food. She's so hungry. But she probably can smell some food in my van. All right, darling, I know. This dog will be dead in a small matter of time.
Jobs like this are never easy for inspectors, and this case has really got under Hershey's skin.
I'm absolutely furious. It's just so upsetting. She's just in a horrendous state. It couldn't be any worse for this dog, really. It's living in a filthy environment. It's got multiple problems. It's thin, it's got bad skin, it's got bad eyes, it's got bad nails. It had no food, it had no water. She ran into the toilet to drink water out of the toilet when we were in there. She actually defecated in the room and then she tried to eat it. I just don't understand it. I don't know how you can live with yourself, really.
Clara's life is hanging in the balance, and she needs urgent medical attention. Find out later if Hershey has rescued her in time. Every year, the RSPCA's cruelty hotline takes well over 1 million calls. And back in Birmingham, Inspector Hershey Bowl is in the middle of dealing with one. She's just rescued a bull terrier that was being kept in unforgivable conditions.
Clara is very disinterested in me.
Without food or water, she was starving.
This dog will be dead in a small matter of time.
Without medical attention, dogs in such bad condition can die. So it's a good thing vet Mark Barton is on standby.
Body condition is 1 out of 9. The bottom end, 1 is emaciated, 9 is morbidly obese. Most dogs should be about a 3 or a 4. She's about a 1. Her body weight is 13 kilograms. She should be 25 kilograms.
Clara is dangerously underweight. In fact, a dog her age should weigh twice as much.
Well, it shows that she eats.
Yes,
she's given food.
Yeah.
She's eating that as quick as she can. That's actually quite sad, really, because there isn't an animal on the planet that doesn't need food and water. It's not hard.
She's a dog that's clearly incredibly thirsty, and she's just sat constantly drinking at that bowl. We've got to be a little bit careful we don't make her sick by just making her guzzling too much water too quickly.
Clara looks nothing like a healthy bull terrier. Known for their distinctive egg-shaped head and triangular eyes. They're a courageous breed, full of spirit and with a fun-loving attitude. They love our company, care and attention.
Coming up, sweetheart.
It's been quite...
You can see where where the nails going round into her pad on both sides. This owner clearly hasn't ever had this dog's nails clipped.
Is that effectively that nail's going round and it's now stabbing
it's going
her?
round and stabbing straight through her pad. Yeah.
It's no wonder that Clara has been struggling to walk, but her problems don't end there.
Her skin is in fairly dreadful condition. She's fairly greasy, fairly dirty. Her ears have got marked infection. She's got a problem which looks like dry eye, which we'll need to confirm.
Would you say that she was in a suffering state? Yeah.
She's suffering from all those aspects, from her weight to her skin condition to her nails to her eyes.
So
multiple reasons.
With Mark confirming that Clara's been suffering unnecessarily, she'll never have to go back to her life of hell.
These dogs tend to continually go hungry, even if they're provided with a very small amount of food. They continue to drop their weight and potentially, eventually lead to coma and death. Those nails, where they're digging into those pads, will become infected and then they become septicemic, and that also could kill these dogs. There's so many levels this dog could have had a long, slow, lingering death sadly without intervention.
This part of the job is the hardest for us. You know, for any inspector that removes an animal, they always in the back of the mind they're looking at the potential rehoming aspect of that animal, because that's our end. That's what we want to do with everything that we remove. And I think what breaks my heart is the fact that I look at that dog and think, I'm a bit too late, really.
Tonight she'll be safe here, but her life very much hangs in the balance. We'll check in on her progress later. Just like us, some dogs like their food too much. Hey, Toby. The trouble is, too many calories and can end up piling on the pounds. 1 in 3 dogs carrying a bit too much timber. Leave some for me. All right, don't. Last year, we met Sasha, a staffy with a burgeoning waistline. and her parents, Ruth and Bill Ruckby.
How's Sasha been?
Oh, she's been doing very well indeed. It started out with a cream slice on a Saturday. She got to the stage where she was having one a day.
She likes a bit of cheese, and she likes scrambled egg.
But she was also having lots of sweeties.
Couldn't stop her eating.
No.
Couldn't.
Ruth loves her dog, but this chunky monkey is as heavy as a 6-year-old child. And the professionals are worried about her weighing twice as much as she should.
We want to cut the food down, but equally important is that we up the exercise. If we leave things as they are, she's inevitably going to suffer health-wise, and none of us want that.
Feeding dogs the wrong things, and too much, can shorten their lives, and just like us, they can end up with diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Almost a year on, an oversized Sasha is still too plump.
You're still a mummy's girl, aren't you? And she's still very independent. She still bullies me. If she doesn't get her own way, she shouts at me.
Her diet started well, but after her hysterectomy, her owners let things slip.
If she wanted a little treat, because she was so down, I didn't care. That's your favourite position, isn't it?
But now she's fully recovered, there are no more excuses.
Now she's fit enough to cope. We've thrown away all the sweets. She's going back as she was, to her diet and to her exercise regime. And my husband will do his best to walk her.
And in an effort to supercharge her weight loss, their vets have referred this podgy pooch for hydrotherapy, effectively swimming. Right, time for a warm-up. Psyched up and hoping for her best performance yet, Sasha is ready for anything.
You are ready? Good, that's what I like to see. Got to get your lead and daddy. We need your daddy as well, don't we, man?
Today, Sasha's going for her third session at Bristol Canine Hydrotherapy Centre, and she's hoping to make waves. I just hope some of the water stays in the pool.
There you go.
Not only is hydrotherapy great for exercising porkies like Sasha, it's also good for older dogs and those recovering from injuries, because it's a great way of building up muscle without putting stresses or strains on joints.
Hi Ruth, how are you doing? All right?
Oh, not so bad, thank you.
Good. How's Sasha today?
Oh, she's doing very well.
Sandra's been putting Sasha through her paces, but before she can get her paws wet, the moment we all dread, the public weigh-in.
We just pop her on the scales.
Scales,
Check your weight.
Not to be that shy.
It's only the scales. Come on.
You're not getting out of this one, Sasha.
On we go. That's it. Stay there. Good girl. Stay there. Good girl. That's it. She was 24.95 on Sunday, and today she's 24.65.
That was a bit lighter.
I think it was a little bit lighter than last time. Yes?
Hallelujah, it worked.
Then we're just going to put the float jacket on so that Sasha can concentrate on swimming.
Sasha should have no problem staying afloat, but for some extra buoyancy, Sandra is fitting her with a doggy life jacket.
Turn your head.
Bit of a squeeze. It also helps keep control of her.
Over we go. There's a good girl.
On previous attempts, Sasha managed 3 intense bursts in the pool. This time, she's going for a record-breaking 4, but will she beat her personal best? On your marks, get set, go.
Oh, there you go.
Steady, steady.
But there's a problem.
Calm down, Sasha.
Sasha is panic swimming because she's out of her depth. If she keeps up this pace, she'll burn out. There's no way she'll beat her personal record.
She's just a bit panicky, but as the swims go, she starts to relax a little bit.
Sasha's not the fittest dog in the world, so Sandra is taking her pulse to make sure her heart isn't being overworked, and gives her muscles a little rub down too. Round 2. She's getting into a good rhythm, but she's still a long way off target. For a dog, 10 minutes in the pool is the equivalent to an hour's walk, so little Miss Chubby Chops is certainly getting some exercise. Halfway. Time to catch your breath. Now for round 3. Don't give up now. If you manage just one more, it's a personal best.
Very well. tired.
Oh no! The finish line is in sight. Yes, I can. You did it!
Oh dear. Yeah,
But don't ruin all your hard work in the pool by cheating on your diet. How about a shower instead?
Sasha's done really well today. She's had one little extra swim as well as increasing the times on what we did last time. Seems to be coping okay with the level that we've got her at the moment. We just increase it gradually and hopefully she'll start losing some weight soon.
Well, I think she did very well. I was very pleased with her. She's intelligent enough to know that it's going to do her good.
Yeah.
More intelligent than me sometimes.
Yes.
The Doggy Olympics may be a way off yet, but if Sasha keeps this up and a good diet, she'll be well on her way to getting in shape.
Ash, should we take you home now? Better get you in before you get too cold. We'll do it slowly together, and I reckon by summer we'll have a bit more of a slimline. She'll be wearing a bikini, and when the hot weather comes, we could all go to the seaside, couldn't we? Give her a dose of Western Supermare or something. Mum's favourite, aren't you? Yeah? Have a kiss. Oh, get off, she says.
We'll be checking Sasha's scales later in the show. Unfortunately, the RSPCA has to rescue dogs from unimaginable cruelty. And this little lady, Florence, a 14-year-old poodle cross, perhaps has one of the most shocking stories. In July 2013, she was found by Inspector Tony Woodley.
She was a cruelty case dog. One of the worst cases I've ever seen.
Her fur was so badly matted and tangled she could barely walk.
If you just think about having your hands slowly being constricted at your wrists until your hands fall off.
The true extent of this poor little dog's injuries were only discovered in the operating theatre. As the veterinary surgeon was shaving away her incredibly matted coat, they made a devastating discovery. As they removed clumps of fur, with it came her 2 front paws. This happened because the fur had tightened so much that the blood supply had simply been cut off. They also discovered that months of abuse at the hands of her owners had led to her not only losing limbs, but her mouth was in such terrible condition and her teeth were causing her so much pain, they all had to go. At 14 years old, no one knew what type of recovery Florence would make. But miracles do happen. And Karen Branner, her new owner, can't get enough of her.
The best thing ever was seeing her run for the first time. It was just heartwarming, it really was. I never ever expected her to be able to do that. It just made me feel so happy that despite her terrible injuries and her appalling life, that she could pull herself through it and live like a normal dog.
After Karen heard Florence's tragic story, she knew she could give her the love she deserved.
When we saw her, we went to the vets. I was like, please, can I have her? I must take her home. I said, can I go to the top of the waiting list? And in fact, there wasn't a waiting list, there was just me. I have to give her quite soft food.
And even though Florence has no teeth, she has not lost her appetite. That looks good.
She eats everything you give her, so she does really well without any teeth.
Karen and this pampered pooch go everywhere together.
Whoa! So I fashioned this sling from just an old scarf, but I have got a range of scarves for different looks: spring, summer, winter, fashion.
And it's not unusual to see Florence at work too. And today, on a break from his usual duty, Tony wants to catch up with a dog dear to his heart.
It's great to see her skipping around and coping so well.
When you're out and about with her, You wouldn't know that she's lost her front paws.
She does remarkably well, bearing in mind she's got no front feet. Obviously, she's got a sort of a slant, hasn't she?
Yeah,
she's got
she goes
a
down.
higher back end. You do get connected to them, you do get attached to these dogs, and when you see a dog that's been in such adversity and was in such a poor condition, I do get a bit emotionally attached, and she's an amazing little character. She's in great hands.
Thankfully, Florence's previous life with her abusive owners is a distant memory. They were prosecuted, and it's now illegal for them to own dogs. Dogs need a lot of attention, and they can be quite a handful. So as much as you may want a four-legged companion in your life, it is a big commitment. It can be too much for some. Last year, in Luton, there were over 370 cases of abandoned dogs. And dealing with that problem is part of Inspector Steph Law's job.
Clearly they don't really know how to care for an animal correctly if they're going to leave it on the side of the A6.
Rookie Steph has been with the RSPCA for just under a year. She started off in fundraising for them, but now she's on the front line. Today she's responding to a call about an Akita, a dog similar to a husky, that's allegedly been left outside without shelter.
They can't just be left out with nothing. Even though Akitas have got very thick fur, it's not really much fun sleeping out in the freezing cold, to be honest. I don't think any of us would like to do it, even if we did have a fluffy coat. Hiya, from the RSPCA, we've had a call about a dog at this address.
The owner's just got out of bed, but is happy to let Steph in to get to the bottom of the complaint. Once inside, she discovers the dog's not being kept outside after all.
Oh, hello, sweetheart. What's your name?
It's called Rex.
Rex. He's in really good condition. What's his normal routine? How often is he in this?
He's in there overnight because he chews everything.
Okay.
And then he goes to the garden for about 2 hours.
Do you mind if I have a look at your garden, see sort of where, which way?
Oh God, it's a mess out there because he chews everything.
But that's not all 9-month-old Rex has been up to.
Okay, it's quite a lot of faeces around. The main worry I've got is obviously with all that out there, I'd be worried if he was my dog that he'd be rolling in it, to be honest. Because dogs do that quite a lot, and then if he's obviously coming in your house, he'll end up stinking of it. There's also a few more bits of rubbish he could sort of cut his paw on, or if there's any cans or anything out there, it could cause him a bit of damage. So this is a little bit of a mess.
Although the garden is not the worst Steph's ever seen, it needs clearing up. Sadly for Davina, Rex's owner, there's no such thing as the dog poo fairy.
Don't know who's going to draw the short straw and pick all that poo up, but...
It'll be me. I'm always in the garden.
Akitas, originally from Japan, were bred for fighting, so they can be incredibly headstrong. Recently, these types of dogs have been made popular by films like Twilight. Unfortunately, because they can be difficult to manage, the numbers being given up are on the increase. Rex is the Latin word for king, but he can take royal privileges a bit too far.
Oh, he's having a wee now.
No way! Oh, I just got peed on. Dog!
He's made this home his castle.
Oh, that's your bedding as well.
No.
Rex thinks he's top dog here.
Sit.
And even in the short time Steph's there, he's running circles around Davina.
Sit.
And our cameraman. With the duvet on the washing line, there's only one thing for this unruly king.
I think he would benefit from a bit of training, to be honest, because he's not even fully grown yet. So when he gets bigger, it could be a problem. Down.
Rex!
Training classes for you, Rex. Training classes for you.
If Davina doesn't address his behaviour now, Akitas like Rex can become aggressive in later years.
He's hard to handle because he's quite big. He's quite big for me because he's quite heavy. He tries to dominate me all the time. Like, if I'm sat down, he'll always jump up on me and get his head over my head. He always has to be higher up than me. He doesn't like me near my boyfriend either. If I go near him, the dog gets jealous.
Leader of the pack, Rex, is still young, so training him properly and showing him who's boss could solve Davina's problems.
He probably could have done with training from when he was at a more manageable size. But all isn't lost because he's only 9 months old, so he can still learn.
Find out if we can put an end to Rex's reign of terror later in the show. It's been 2 days since Hershey rescued Clara the Bull Terrier from almost certain death.
She's just got a lot of problems with this poor dog.
When we last saw Clara, her life was hanging in the balance.
There's so many levels this dog could have had a long, slow, lingering death.
Has Clara made it? Even in just a couple of days, in the right hands, the difference is huge.
Hey, Clara. Oh, darling, you look a bit brighter, don't you? Hey. That's where the nail was digging into her foot. So, that bit there. That's better.
But because of the constant abuse Clara suffered at the hands of her owner, she may never make a full recovery.
She's got lacrolube, which is twice a day, and a fusiformic, which is twice a day as well.
She'll need to be given some of this medication for the rest of her life.
So that's ears, eyes.
Those three are
eyes, yeah.
And skin and
skin
everything
tablets.
Without the treatment she is now receiving for her eyes, she could have gone blind.
She's got quite a lot for her eyes then.
Yeah.
An everlasting reminder of the daily cruelty she endured.
I just want to make her comfortable now. I want her to be comfortable. Let her be warm, not hungry, not thirsty. Let her lie on a nice soft bed. Let her just have a bit of comfort, because clearly she's not had that for a very long time.
Clara isn't out of the woods yet, but for now at least, she can look forward to a soft bed and plenty of food and water. Earlier on, we met Rex, a Nikita. He was, without a doubt, king of the castle.
Down, down.
Inspector Steph Law thought this unruly 9-month-old pup's behaviour needed to be reined in.
Oh, he's having a wee now.
No way!
So today, owner Davina is doing something about it. She's called in experienced independent dog trainer Vicky Laws. She hopes she can bring an end to King Rex's reign.
A dog's a pack animal, so leadership is needed. If we don't give the dog effective leadership, it will take over. The mix of breed and possibly the relationship with the owner, we're probably looking at a challenging afternoon.
If Davina doesn't get a handle on Rex's lack of respect for her, it could spiral dangerously out of control.
Sometimes it can be scary because I'm at home on my own with him and he gets overexcited and he starts mouthing, and sometimes I get a bit, oh my God, is he going to bite me? But he never has, but I still just have that fear about me, he's just such a big dog, I can't control him with the way he is at the minute. I don't have any time for him because he's just too much for me.
More of these types of dogs are being handed over every day. And the sad truth is that unacceptable behaviour, especially aggression, is one of the main reasons dogs are put down. So for Davina, help couldn't come soon enough.
You like this, do you? Don't mind this?
No, I hate it.
Do you hate it? Okay. So
It doesn't take Rex long to show Vicky that he thinks he's top dog. But Vicky, with over 10 years' experience, is no pushover. And she's got a secret weapon up her sleeve.
It's called a Pet Behave spray.
Okay.
And it's just a citronella spray.
Don't worry, it's not doing him any harm.
I'm going to use it just to get him off.
That's not doing any good either. 1-0 to Rex.
It's really important that you put some boundaries into the home. And by that I mean areas that he's not allowed in. Okay, unless invited.
To teach Rex this, Vicky uses a command.
Out.
And a door to tell him when he's allowed in and out of the room.
Good boy, come on in. Make sense?
Yeah.
Want to go?
Okay.
Okay.
King Rex is used to doing exactly as he pleases. Especially around Davina. But will she be able to knock him
out
off his throne?
And then use the door when he comes back. Oh, no, grab his collar.
Out.
Good. Okay. What you're looking for, really, for the door to be open, is for him either to walk away or settle down.
Okay.
Nearly.
Out.
And then just invite him back in.
Perfect. If Davina carries on like this, Rex's reign will be history.
I would build up to leaving him out of the room for about 10 minutes at a time. Key is don't give up, because you'll get results.
Rex likes doing what he wants, when he wants, but all that's got to change. He needs to know he has a place, so when you want him to go and sit on his bed, he will.
Down. Bed.
Back to your old tricks, Rex.
Bed. It's all about you just being consistent. And once he's settled on the bed, that's when you give him the release command. Good boy.
Sounds easy enough.
Bed.
But will Rex bow down to Davina? A tasty treat lets Rex know he's doing the right thing.
If he gets off without you telling him, you need to put him straight back on.
Bed.
Just use your body. So, bed.
Bed.
Can you believe it? Rex is doing what he's being told.
Okay, release him when you're ready. Good boy, off. Good boy, and then ignore him.
Victory! Usually when Davina is outside with Rex, he walks all over her.
Oh, puppy.
Now for the hardest lesson of all. Being able to recall your dog. This is essential. Otherwise you could lose them altogether, or they could hurt themselves. Or someone else.
Rex. Rex, come.
Today, Davina is using a toy to try to get him to return. So if he's good and comes back, he gets the toy.
He's totally oblivious to it when I have it. Rex, come. Rex.
Looks like a simple dog's toy's beneath this king.
Why are you doing this to me? Nope. This could take a while.
It will take a while. And throw the toy.
Rex. Rex, come.
Let him have it. Drag it around. You give up.
You're
giving up. You're giving up.
This is not doing it.
No quick surrender from Rex. Davina may have got one over on Rex in the home, but out here, it's his kingdom. Don't give up, Davina. You just need a better weapon in your arsenal.
I would suggest for the next couple of weeks while you're training recall, I would give him the majority of his daily allowance of food on the walk so that you're actually feeding him for recalling. So coming back to you starts to become a really good thing and really powerful to him.
Yeah.
Training a dog is not a one-day exercise, and it involves a great deal of patience, determination, and most of all, consistency.
I didn't expect to see some of the things I did see. Him responding and listening, I didn't think I'd see that whatsoever. So yeah, it's been good. I think the walking in the park, and I don't think I'm quite ready for that. That's going to be a bit of a struggle and a half. But no, in the house, it went well. I reckon we'll get on all right. It's me as well. If I keep up with what I've been taught today, it's obviously not just him, it's both of us. We need to work on our relationship. I suppose we can work things out.
So for now at least, it seems like Rex and Davina have called a truce.
Unfortunately, sometimes the RSPCA discover cases of neglect and abuse of dogs on a huge scale. And what's worse is that the people doing it are making money from it. The numbers of illegal puppy farms and dogs being trafficked are on the increase. Many are sold with fake vaccination certificates and end up becoming very ill, dying within days of being brought home.
In May 2012, in a joint operation with the police and trading standards, the RSPCA raided this puppy farm in Greater Manchester. And it was one of the biggest Inspector Jason Bowles had ever seen.
It's a hellhole, isn't it? Hellhole for dogs.
Dogs were being kept in despicable conditions.
When you've got faeces down there with mould on there, it's been in there for weeks. There's no watering with that dog, and that in itself is a welfare breach.
And sadly, mothers almost bred to death.
Body condition wise, teats are on the ground, being fed, but you can see that she's been overbred though. I mean, it's just, I've never seen anything like that.
Some just didn't make it and were tossed aside.
It is quite upsetting, and things that we're trying to avoid. We were too late for that dog.
Tiny puppies taken from their mothers, abandoned and alone.
Where is Mum? Why has she been separated?
These defenceless animals wanted love, but instead they were abused, all at the hands of a father and son duo.
No, they're not. What?
At the end of the
You're
day,
just a policewoman. You're nothing to do with animal health.
For running an illegal, unlicensed puppy farm, these two were banned from having dogs for 10 years.
You're not taking these dogs at all. There's nothing wrong with them.
The good news is, the team did. They were able to rescue 137 of them. But it was a mammoth task. The RSPCA had to pool the resources of 8 different centres and work late into the night to get them all out of there.
If we have had to walk away from this, I don't think I could have slept really.
To rehome all these dogs seemed an impossible task. But, remarkably, 1 year on, every single one of the 137 rescued dogs and puppies have found loving new homes across the country. And today, in a special event organised by the RSPCA, some of these special dogs and their new best friends have got together. Truffle was one of those overbred chocolate Labradors. She's come a long way since being rescued, but it's been a tough journey for her.
She was in a terrible state. She couldn't walk, basically. She crawled along the floor. If she'd have stayed in the puppy farm as a breeding bitch, she would have just been bred from until she dropped dead. Luckily, she found a very loving home along with another established dog who helped her confidence tremendously, and she's doing very well.
And these little guys could well have been her children. Well, these two ladies have rescued one each, and it sounds like they're settling in just fine.
She was slightly overexcitable at first, but now she's part of the family and she cuddles up with the cats.
And for these two, their previous lives are now a distant memory. But some habits die hard.
We don't have a cat, but if the next door neighbour's cat was about, we had to watch him very carefully.
Yeah, I think Pippa has learned how to drag me into the local pub, which is at the side of the canal, so we've developed a taste for walking and drinking together.
Sounds convenient. So it's worked for them, and everyone else here too.
I think people are quite nervous about getting a rescue dog because you worry how it's going to fit into the family, but actually it's worked out really, really well.
These dogs' lives have been changed for good by the people that rescued them. But for every dog that has a home, there are many that don't. Clara the Bull Terrier fought for her life. But sadly, the severe neglect she endured for far too long took too much of a toll on her body. And the vet made the very tough decision to put her to sleep. At least her last moments were spent in a caring, warm environment where she was well looked after. Davina is working hard on her relationship with Rex, and the good news is they're still together. And Sasha is keeping up with her diet and fitness regime. She's lost almost 1 kilogram and is looking forward to days out at the seaside with her best pal Ruth.